Hey everyone, today and for the rest of the week we are going to be talking about circles and their parts and how they're related, adding a couple vocab terms. So today we're going to start pretty basic, and we are going to be talking about a central angle and the measure of the arc. So a few chapters ago we actually talked about the length of the arc, which we used by finding the circumference. The measure of the arc is in degrees, just like our central angle. So that's the difference between measure and length. Length is part of the circumference, so it's usually in terms of pi. Measure of the arc is in degrees. So the reason we talk about these two together is because there's a relationship between our central angle and the measure of the arc that corresponds to it. So, where is the central angle? Every circle has a center point. That central angle is built off of that center point. So this right here is our central angle. And let's call this one 40 degrees. So the nice thing about central angles and arcs is that this central angle is related to this arc right here. And they are related by being exactly the same. So if our central angle is 40 degrees, then the arc that goes with it is 40 degrees. And we find the arc by looking at the two endpoints of our angle, connect them, that's our arc. So let's look at this another way. We'll go with another circle. Here's our center. So a nice big arc. We'll say that arc length is 120 degrees. So if we know what the arc length is, then based on that, we can find that central angle, which is also 120 degrees, because our arc length and our central angle are going to match. Another vocab term that I do want to talk about is a minor arc and a major arc. Okay, so this right here is an example of a minor arc. The rest of it is called a major arc. A minor arc is anything less than 180 degrees. A major arc is anything above 180 degrees. So since this part is 120, that means the rest of this, it's a circle, it's 360, so we have 240 left. That's bigger than 180, so that makes it a major arc. So it's not a big lesson today. This is it, just looking at the relationship between the central angle and the measure of the arc. So I do have just a couple questions for your homework today, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow.